Good morning. I'm Terry. I'm the pastor of First Baptist Church of Plano, Illinois, and I'd like to welcome you this morning to our Through the Week little devotional Bible study. Um, Today we're going to take a look at James chapters verses 2 through 4. This is the famous introduction to James, and it goes, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance. But let endurance have its perfect work, that you may be mature and complete, lacking in nothing." The book of James has been touted as the practical book of the Bible. James is famous for being just as a matter of fact kind of guy who tells it like it is. Introducing his book, he comes out with a process. It's a roadmap. And the book of James is a roadmap, period, for living the Christian life. And so here he comes out and he says, "Count it all joy, my brethren, when you fall into various trials." Now, it's well known that this was written during the time of the diaspora when Jews were scattered all over the place and they were being persecuted greatly. So here James says, "Count it all as joy." How? I mean, like, I'm being persecuted. There are so many Romans after me that you'd think that, you'd think that I was a criminal. Well, that's not the case. It wasn't that they were criminal. Well, yes, they were. They were outlawed by the government, but they really hadn't done anything wrong than being born. So here it is. James says, "Count it all as joy when you fall into various trials." All of these things that we face in life aren't good and bad per se. And I'm coming across like this because last night in cults we were just entering into a study on Buddhism. But here we see James is talking about life and death struggles, but he's saying various trials. And what he goes on to tell us is that these trials are what temper us. They're what make us who we are, and they're designed, get that? They are designed to make us more godly. This falls into our Discipleship 101, and I'm calling this Discipleship the Roadmap. James goes on to say, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance. You got to know this. You got to know that the love of God does not allow him to give you trials, even if they're life and death situations, for the sake of being mean. God is not like that. God is love. God is merciful. God is kind and gentle, long-suffering. So when we take a look at these trials, we should know that they're meant for a purpose. COVID-19, I mean, it's beyond me. Trust me, I don't know why. But I know that. I don't know why it's here, but I know that it's here. And because of what James tells me, there's a portion of this why that I can recognize, and that it is a test. It is a gruesome test. But this particular test is meant to move you forward so that you may endure struggles and trials. One of the things that we learned about in this cults class, and by the way, it's not just cults or heresies, but it's also world religions that we're studying. uh, is that in Buddhism, they believe first and foremost that their purpose is to eliminate struggles in life so that they can achieve nirvana. Hey, I can deal with that. And if my life didn't have any struggles, man, I think I'd be happier than snot. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that, am I? Okay, well, I think I'd be a really happy guy. How's that? But one of the things that we have to recognize about trials is that they're supposed to bring us to a state of being able to endure struggles, being able to endure poverty, being able to endure uh, bullies, being able to endure governments, being able to endure. Endurance isn't something that you just have inherently, but it's something that you develop. Like a track runner, say someone who runs the mile. They generally aren't very good at running the mile the first few times that they start doing that. No, they condition. They find those exercises that help them to develop their wind capacity, how to train their muscles, and cause their muscles to become responsive over great lengths. So, endurance is something that we gain. It's just not something within us. But as we learn, as we are taught, as we are trained to endure, we endure. One of the wonderful things about America and being American is a legacy of enduring. Under great trials, we as a people have gathered together and stepped up, everyone from the young to the old, and began to work toward a solution to whatever problem we have faced ourselves. World War II is a classic example. When the men went to war, the women stepped up and began to build airplanes. They worked in the factories. They were simply amazing. And this is something that Americans did and still do. I'm really encouraged when I see people on television talk about we're going to get through this together. This is a big, big trial for our country, this COVID-19. And the United States leads the entire world in the numbers of those who've been infected and deaths. And it's heartbreaking. But it's a reality. And it is a trial. And it's meant to cause us to gain endurance. Endurance for what? Well, any kind of trial. It produces an endurance, and we're supposed to let it have its perfect work so that we may be mature. A child has no endurance. They can run for, a stretch of maybe a quarter mile in the backyard showing off how fast they can run, but it's not endurance. Endurance is the ability to go the distance. Now, there are trials that are physical. There are trials that are emotional. There are trials that are spiritual. Do you have the ability to go the distance spiritually? It's not an easy thing. It really isn't. Going the distance spiritually means giving up a lot of stuff. It means struggling through a world that is dark. I live outside a place where murders are in the dozens every day. And some weekends it reaches it tops 100. But the people in my area, although they condemn this, they understand that it's a way of life. And how wrong is that? How wrong is it to understand it's a way of life? So those who know that this is not a normal thing are enduring a great struggle and great heartache. And we're doing that now with the COVID. We do it with gun violence. We do it with child abuse. We do it with abuse of women. We endure these struggles and condemn them strongly, in the strongest terms. Yet, being able to withstand the darkness, being able to withstand the wiles of Satan, makes us mature and complete and lacking in nothing. So, if you have a propensity for lying, stop. Stealing, stop. Being angry and violent, stop. If you don't know how, give me a call. My information is down there on the bottom. Give me a ring, because I can help you learn how. I know that God is. Because nobody whose life choices are destructive or ungodly can be satisfied with that. No one who is that bent, that broken, is happy. So if you'd like to change your life, if you'd like to have God in your life, if you'd like to know why I say Jesus is a better way, give me a ring. Contact me through the website. Because I'm here to tell you right now, Jesus is a better way. So be complete and lacking in nothing as you walk this earth, so that you might be that individual who might very well be the one who helps another individual, who will be the one to help another individual. And through that, being transformed one person at a time, we see this world changed from its present state into the kingdom of God. Well, I'm Terry, and I'm out of here. Give me a ring. Let me know what's going on. And two, I would love to hear comments. You're an idiot, or grow some hair. Or don't anybody tell me to shave my beard. However, I want to tell you that this is such a blessing. Have a great day, and may God bless you. Bye-bye.